Greetings, and welcome to a Monday episode, an exhausting Monday episode of Vaygrim's Chance. I still like coming down here into the engineering core and watching the fluids run around in the various pipes. We did have some of the fluids disappear when we had some updates. I think it was the 1.2 update. Some of the fluids in the pipes disappeared. We need to come back down and redo them. I think it was an update to COFH core or thermal foundation, one of the two. And we need to redo some of the weird exotic fluids we had piping around down here. But I still like coming down and watching stuff zip around. So much development has been happening. The SDE, the small damn egg, as labeled by Trunks 9809, is pretty much done and ready for traffic. I think we're going to start expanding. I think I'm going to have to start building the warehouse, the storehouse at the actual trade depot very, very soon. I'm still working on an actual design concept in mind, but I've got some ideas. Something I have been working on, though, is this way, behind the BDE. And yeah, I had a very fruitful weekend because I really couldn't do much in the way of recording. I'm recording right now because I have a fleeting window of not being a snotty mess because of this cold. But as you can see, I've been a busy monkey. I have the replacement modules in place for the new ag section. I've actually plotted it out, and I really don't think I need more than 2 of them. So I think what I'm probably going to do is keep this design this way and then have another separate kind of a bubble shape design, or at least maybe a capped dome design over here and over here that is going to be more free range creatures, like one for livestock and maybe one for horses. That might be really cool. I'm still figuring that out, but these things are multi-tier. Let's actually go down to where you would be coming up from the actual central elevator system right here. So this is going to be the tech dome. No, this is the magic dome. Yeah, this is the magic dome. This is the magic tower, basically. And tech tower is going to be over there. I did some work over here. I've got intermediate floors now. I've got a top layer and a middle layer. I've also put in preparation for having a lift system installed, I put a central shaft in. I've even connected this up to the main LP system right here, so I can actually request stuff. This is going to be a mechanism, and this is going to be like down here. I'm probably going to have tanks for mechanism fluids and gas and whatever. Probably lots of bedrockium barrels of stuff. Yeah, but whoa, go back up here. So you can come around here if you wanted to these new kind of observation areas, these front decks up here. Look off over the edge if you want to and see some of the actual settlement areas. If I had my render range extended a bit farther, you'd be able to see the trade depot right there. And then basically there's going to be a lift, a vertical lift right here. Whee, thump. And this is going to be multiple layers. This is just one layer, and then I'm probably going to only have walking height 2 or 3 blocks. I'm thinking 3 blocks of space between each level. There's going to be 2 layers of dirt for each level. I'm going to try and fit as many as I can right up to here. But this is going to be a vertical kind of a levitating thing. It's going to go straight down. We're going to use the lift system similar to what's in the BDE. Now, if I walk around here, I can actually walk. Let's get our run on real quick. Walk all the way around here. I haven't really modified this portion of it. I'm going to change out the white for something else. Not sure what, though. Maybe that black mesh that I've been using, the factory blocks that I've been using for the other flooring. That might look really good and give it a better contrast. Right now, it's just white on white on light. This is going to be the magic dome. This is going to be, there's going to be a big altar suspended in the air above this up on pillars. It's going to be on some support pillars that I'm going to make some decorative pillars in the corner. That's going to have a raised platform you'll be able to walk under for at least a tier 4 altar. Maybe. I think I could fit a tier 4 in there. I'm going to do a tier 6 all the way up in the actual Tardis. So here's the other one. It's going to be the same. It's exactly the same height. They are placed exactly the same. I measured them out. I built this one and then built this arm, then built this arm, then did this module, and then started doing this module and realized the measurements were off on that arm from this arm. So I decided to copy this arm and this module all the way over here and mirrored them block by block. So they're the same measurements. Now, the next thing I need to do is start getting layers and MFR planters in there, or harvesters. And then I'm going to basically transplant and remove that entire system. This entire tower will probably feed upwards to this top level. What I'm thinking about doing is having this top level look like a garden. I'm not going to have any crops up here. I'm going to have a garden, and then I'm going to have a little bit of a chest, maybe some mechanisms up here in the corner, like mechanisms and some mechanical things for moving and sorting the stuff that comes up out of the ground. But otherwise, it's going to be bushes and park benches and flowers. Now, this is the new kind of garden dome area. I've done nothing with it yet because I wanted a specific kind of a bubble shape, but in order to do that, I either had to make it wider, and I didn't want to do that because that would restrict my space on these, or go with the kind of a lower ceiling. So in order to keep it kind of round, I went with the lower ceiling, which means I can't really grow a lot of trees in here. I'm going to have to build them. So we're going to actually get some tree parts. I'm going to take some shears and get some leaf blocks and stuff like that. And we'll build some unique trees up over on this side. What I'm going to do is hide this over here behind some bushes and some trees in the corner. I'm going to do the same thing over here. And if you come down here and walk down this grass stairs, you're suddenly greeted with a landing platform with catwalks. And you actually have this walkway over here. It goes down here, and there's going to be a railing that blocks you off, I think. I've considered putting another layer down here that goes down towards the bottom of the glass and lets you stand under on a lower, like maybe right about here-ish. I think that'd be really cool. Stand right about here. And this is basically kind of my flip side of the overworld on the top. These are fluid displays that actually have lava on them. You just right-click it with a bucket of lava. It doesn't even use the lava. You can walk on these things. They're solid. See, I can't even fly up into it. They don't burn. They don't hurt. They are 100% safe. If I go up here, I can right-click it and change it to like flowing lava if I wanted to. But I think that looks a little weird. I think it looks better as static. My only problem is that it doesn't emit light. So what I'm going to have to do is start hiding some carpenter's blocks with glowstone or painted glowstone block here and there, because this whole area is really dark and it needs to be brighter. But I'm thinking, yeah, have a couple of steps down to maybe right about this height, and then have a walkway that's kind of like a circular catwalk that you could stand right here under the nether area. I've considered having some lava pouring out of one of these and pooling up down here, but I don't know if I want to do that or not. I'm still kind of trying to figure that out. I think that would break the illusion of this being kind of like, upside down. I can't put creatures in here because I can't get creatures to flip upside down. I don't think I can get the mannequins from Armorer's Workshop. So I had the idea and started building it, and then started to realize just how limited I am. I am considering putting some kind of artificial nether biome stuff in here, but I'm not sure how I would do that. Like maybe if I get some quartz, I could turn it into those bone spikes that they have in Natura, in the Natura nether biomes. I could make my own bone spikes, like maybe one right here coming down, or one at the far back coming all the way down. I've considered actually making a section of a nether fortress coming down, which is where I started building that stuff. It's supposed to just kind of be ruins, so to speak. I'm going to get some nether fencing that's not really finished yet. I'm going to get some nether fencing towards the back there and, see what I can do with that. But I do overall like how this came out. I just need to get it better lit. Right now, the only thing lighting it up is this glass. This is light and clear glass. So I'm going to hide this with some bushes, and we're going to build some custom trees in here. I'm going to do some jungle trees with some vines on them. I want to do a few of the exotic ancient trees. I think these look really cool and really interesting, like an alien world kind of a thing. So I think I could see using a lot of these. I'm going to get some areas in the corners over here and over here that are going to make use of some of the planters in garden stuff, because I think you can do miniature bonsai trees, and I want to do that in a little area, like almost like a cultivated gardening area. But everything else farther back is basically going to be kind of like a dense, small, kind of a grove. You can see the lava blocks on the other side of this. It kind of breaks the illusion, but not. It kind of lets you know there's something weird going on down there. But anyway, I'm real pleased with how this came out. The only thing I want to do is I want to, I think, get something like that. I want to take these out because they just, they don't do it for me. And I think I want to widen these out just a little bit because they're a little cramped right now. And I'm not the biggest fan of how cramped they are. Let's do this and this. And then put one of those there. And I think that looks a lot better. So, real quick, before I do anything else or before I wrap up, I want to give one final check in on the Monster Dome. The Monster Dome has been very much overhauled and finalized. I think I told you guys about a lot of this. But we do have the zombies, endermen, witches, cave spiders, and skeletons now. The fans are on the same switch as the actual Killer Joe. I've got this automatically collecting experience via that. I have discovered, though, that somebody made the suggestion of putting a Killer Joe there and a Killer Joe there. I think I'm going to have to do that so I can actually have more than 2 spawners on at a time, because right now I can't do more than 2 spawners. We got really good numbers coming in, all these different kinds of bows that we get. I've got 95 ordinary bows, but I've got a couple of enchanted types here and there. Like this is, I think, a power 1 bow. Yeah, that's a punch 1 bow. That is unbreaking 2 and auto smelting. All sorts of weird stuff. Unbreaking 1 and power 1. Unbreaking 1. I've got little bits of armor that are coming in. Leather armor, gold armor, chainmail armor now. All sorts of stuff. So it really is coming together. I've got tons of 1,700 zombie flesh, rotten flesh, for automating the actual fluid system for Killer Joe. I've got 104 potions of healing. I need to pull out some of those and turn them into the improved versions of the potions. But anyway, I'm real happy with that. I really think that's come together pretty good. Final thing I want to touch upon on this episode. It's going to be a short one. I am sorry, but I'm just so exhausted from the cold. I have been doing some piloting in drifting mode. Let's get over here. We're going to do current coordinates store. I'm actually going to save those there just in case. And then basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over here. Where is it? Right here, there's a switch. If you look at Wayla, it says unstabilized flight, stable flight. I want to do stable flight. I don't know why you would want to have it as unstable. And then coordinated or drifting. Drifting is important. Well, have I changed anything? Nope. Okay. We are going to temporal primer, helmic regulator, and quantum handbrake. And it's taking off. Now here's the thing. It's not going to land. I took off and I'm going to the exact same coordinates I left from. It's not going to land. But if you notice, actually maybe that's what stable flight does, is it turns off the actual flight control. Let me see if I can... Yeah, see, now these things are going to start lighting up. And basically, you have to catch these things. When you do catch them, I'm just going to stay here for a second and wait for one to come to me. You get a little bit of experience. I don't know if you saw, but the experience knob just moved a little bit. Button. These things, a lot of times, if you chase it all the way around, you'll just end up missing it. So I stay on 2 sides. Let's hit the button. And basically, this is how you get experience the easy way on your Tardis. I did not get that one in time. I got that one in time. There's another one. And this is how you progress. So I'm actually just going to land now. This is going to put me right back where I left off, I think. There we go. So you keep doing that, and I did that for about 30 minutes straight, literally just chasing the controls around and right-clicking them when they darken. So I have a level 10 Tardis now, which means you get some extra stuff. You get some slightly better abilities. Let me think. Transmat. Transmat always transmats me to, I think, the inside of the front door right here, unless you make a transmat module and attach it to one of these and move it farther into the actual Tardis. The transmat functionally works, I think, up to 100 blocks away or something like that. Maybe it's 30 blocks, but it's not real far. Reconfiguration, dismantle, yeah. The other ones don't turn on. So this is a temporal laboratory. This is very, very important. You have to make one of these things by making basically some iron down the sides, glass, gold in the middle, redstone on the bottom. And then you configure it this way. You put a hopper going into it on the top. I put a chest on the top so you can just load stuff into it. But really you don't need a chest because the hopper has 5 storage slots. And then you have a chest at the bottom. When you put either iron or gold into this is why I have 2 separate ones. They use energy captured from the temporal vortex and from your used energy from your Tardis. So as you go into drifting mode, this will keep charging up, and then it will slowly drop down a little bit. It'll go up some and then go down a little bit. That is this thing turning iron into chrono steel, or it turns gold into dilacanium. So you can then use those things to make a basic Artron battery. You just craft a chrono crystal, right? Then you alternate 4 dilacanium and 4 chrono steel around it, and you make a basic Artron battery. If you get this and put it in the middle of the same recipe, you can turn a basic into an advanced, which is what I did. And these things can be changed. You notice it has a charge, 400, mode landed. I right click, it says uncoordinated flight. And this would only be moving if it had a charge. It's losing charge right now because we're not in uncoordinated flight mode. It's using the battery that it's got. Coordinated flight, and this is basically how it changes, is how it gathers energy. Right now we are landed. We're not doing anything. So it's gaining charge. Is this thing actually still crafting? Oh, it is still crafting. I don't know why this is actually supposed to not be charging up because it should only get charge. There's a whole bunch of the dilacanium that I made. I put gold in there. And this is still cranking out chrono steel. I thought it was done. I lost track of it. It'll take an entire stack into this, and then it'll just slowly start putting out. So these things gather energy from the background based upon what mode you have them in and what mode the Tardis is in. And they capture energy. This is gathering a little bit of energy from the background. So I can now craft using these things. It pulls from this instead of the Tardis. See? So now these crafting stations, they can only pull from one at a time. You can't put a battery on either side. And these will automatically craft whatever I need for some of these more advanced things. Like the nanogene canister, I actually need chronosteel. This is actually a healing upgrade. An nanogene canister goes on one of these roundels, and anything within, I think it's 12 blocks or 10 blocks radius gets healed. Kind of like the life stone from Project E put on a dark steel podium or a dark matter podium. Let me think, what else is needed? Oh, landing pads need this thing. This is so you can have a fixed spot at your base. And if you get within 30 blocks of that, your Tardis will automatically home in on that block. And you've got even got a control over here for it. Land on the ground. Land in midair. No. There we go. Use landing pads or ignore landing pads. If you get within 30 blocks of a landing pad, it will home in on that. So, yeah, you can make all sorts of really cool stuff. Well, here's one of the things that I want to make. Basically, gravity lift. You can make a gravity lift, and then you actually make, where is it? Nope, not that. Solid blocks. Flat block, you cannot craft those. There's actually a, oh, there we go, force field. Use a force field, use some chrono steel and glass, and basically this will make you some force field blocks. And the force field blocks are the clear ones like this, where you just crouch and you go down, or you jump and you go up. I'm going to convert all of my elevators to those things, which is why I've been crafting using the system. It's still cranking stuff out. I'm going to let it be and let it keep doing its thing. So yeah, I have the parts. Oh, we did move. Okay, well, landing's not an exact science. Let's try this again. We are at Y level 175. That is not even close to where we are. I'm actually going to take us out of drifting mode real quick, because I basically just want to move over here, flip the lever. I got speed maxed out, so it should be pretty fast. So I've been leveling up my Tardis and putting points into energy, total energy, and energy regeneration. Zoom! Come on. And I leveled up. So here we are, back at where we're supposed to be. I didn't change any coordinates. It's just that until you get it up into the level 30s, level 40s, or even higher, you really can't make an accurate flight, even if you plan on staying in the same place. So I'm going to make some lifts for out of chrono steel. I'm going to make some of those Tardis lifts where you just kind of float up and down. And I'm going to replace these things, so you will be able to see the levels you're passing through. I'm going to use them everywhere else in the base. It's going to be magnificent. I'm going to call this episode here because I am exhausted. Oh, I finally have this thing going out to the tech tower. Moved the machines over here, left that one over there. This is my nutrient distillant. This goes over to Killer Joe. And I finally put this thing back in. I have a lot more scenery here now suddenly. And yeah, most of the gubbins and internal works is going to go over here. What I want to do, whoa. Oh yeah, I have to, hang on a sec. Change dimensions. Naughty me. What I want to do is, this is going to be gubbins and internal works. This is going to be power and fluid storage. Up here, I want to make it to where there's a lot of chests, basically, that you can put stuff into, and it will automatically go down, get processed, and come back out. Anyway, I'm going to talk to you later. Have a great day. Have a great week. Bye-bye.